Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm delighted to have with me my man, former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, New Zealand's finest, Kiwi's finest, Morecambe's finest, Joseph Parker. Joe, what's good?
What's good? It's fight week. Fight week is like the fun part. You know, all the hard work's been done. And I know a lot of fighters say, oh, it's been the best camp and we've done this and done that. I can truly say it's been the best camp. Many reasons: environment, more time with Andy, the team that we've been training with, the sparring, everything was on point. So there's no excuses, there's no injuries, there's nothing. Just going to go in there and take care of business.
Last time when you fought Chisora, I know you spent a couple of weeks in Ireland, and then you moved to Morecambe to do a couple of weeks. So you didn't spend a lot of time there. You've come a lot earlier this time around and spent a lot of time in Morecambe. How's that transition been? Because I know it's the summer in New Zealand and it's the opposite here in the UK.
You know, I gave myself the best chance going into this rematch. Coming up to the UK, you know, 9 weeks before the fight, you know, went to Tyson Fury's fight in Vegas and then flew up here and got used to the time zone, the weather, and I've given myself the best chance. And when Andy arrived into Morecambe to start the camp, I was already fit, ready to go. So it's been a big change with New Zealand going into summer and, you know, Morecambe or the UK going into cold weather. But, you know, as a fighter, all you need is a gym, somewhere to stay and good food to eat.
Well, certainly in Manchester you find good food. How are things gelling with Andy? Because obviously I know it takes time. You spent a lot of years with Kevin, and I'm sure in every camp with Kevin you was learning, developing, changing, adapting, and that experience, that relationship was making you a better fighter. You've only had one fight with Andy. How's that experience and change been so far?
It's been a great experience, and it's a great relationship that I have with Andy. I had a fantastic relationship with Kevin, and I think I just needed something new and something fresh, and took the advice of Tyson Fury. And I believe with the second camp and a longer time, a better understanding of what he's trying to teach or what he is teaching, a better time to practice, put in practice every day. And I believe that the first camp was a good start, and the second camp has been major for the both of us.
From the videos and images I've seen, it seemed like it's a very buzzing gym. Yourself, David Nika, Jordan Thompson, Isaac Lowe's in there, Tyson Fury's been training, Tommy Fury has been training. So it's John Fury as well. Let's not forget John Fury. But it feels like it's a nice little vibe in the gym.
It's a great vibe. Do you know when you have like a positive environment? You know, not saying that other camps weren't, but a positive environment with other good boxers, great boxers, and good athletes, just all wanting to work hard every single day. You know, it pushes you a different way. And you have Tyson there, you know, lifting everyone up, helping where he can. You got Andy Lee, the man in charge, and all the other fighters that you just mentioned with John Fury, Tommy Fury. The environment has been a great environment to train in.
Tyson's had two fights with Derek a number of years ago. I think the second fight he beat him very convincingly. I think he fought most of the fight, or if not all the fight, at Southpaw. What advice does Tyson give you about this rematch and not making it as anywhere close as it was last time?
Yeah, Tyson's good friends with Derek. So, but he's given some advice. He said to me, fight the whole fight Southpaw, which I'm going to do. No, I can't. Listen, I can't. You know, the second fight, for me, it's the best opportunity to show improvements and the changes that I've made in camp with Andy. You know, so the first fight was very hard. I believe it's gonna be hard again. He's a fighter who just comes forward and gives it everything he has from round 1 to round 12. But what I've seen and what I've done in training gives me confidence. You know, I'm gonna back myself. Power, speed, not too much movement, not wasting too much energy. Just, you know, do what I need to do.
I saw some comms that came out earlier this week where Derek did an interview with Matchroom, and he said, I can see Joe's added more muscle. He's going to punch harder and he's going to probably come for the knockout.
Yeah. That's going into fights, you always want to get the knockout. I know I haven't had the best performances. You know, the first fight with Derek was close. The fights before there wasn't the best performances. But going into every fight, you want to get a knockout. That's what everyone wants. But I'm not going to put that pressure on. I'm just going to go out there and go to work and fight him smart. Fight him smart.
Is the fight going to go 12 rounds?
I don't think it's going to go 12 rounds. You know, the last one was 12 rounds and it was good. I got the engine to go 12 rounds, but I don't want to keep going 12 rounds. That's not exciting and that's not fun.
Joe, I know you've been a former world champion, and the aim is to recapture a world title sometime soon. Again, we know, and we'll come to a bit, Fury, Whyte and Joshua Usyk, but surely in the next maybe 12, 18 months, the belts might get fragmented where they might be available. Are you looking ahead on the route you want to take and which potential fighter could be next after Derek?
Yeah, not so much. I think with David Higgins being the manager and Andy Lee being the trainer, they can discuss this, what kind of path to go down, what fight is next, and what's the route we're going to go to get a world title. To be honest, the world title is something I want to get in the future, but it's not on my mind at the moment. Like, I just want to take it fight by fight. I think if I can be present, for the fights that I have and make the most of it, it'll come.
I spoke to Derek yesterday and he said he's going to bring war. And I referred to that 5-year anniversary of that Dillian Whyte fight, which is an epic British heavyweight showdown. And he goes, I only know one way. I only know one style. If he comes in that capacity, in that way, is it going to become a harder fight for you, or are you ready and prepped for anything that Derek brings?
That's what camp's about, being prepared and getting yourself ready for whatever the opponent brings. I'm ready for whatever he brings. He always brings war. And that was an epic fight between him and Dillian Whyte. It was great to see. But that's all he knows, right? And that's all he's going to bring is war. And I'm ready for it.
I remember meeting you when you came for Whyte-Fury, you came for Joshua, you came for Dillian Whyte, you're now here for Derek Chisora twice. I've never heard or seen that your family has come down, but your wife's here, your kids are here. Nice to have them on this side of the pond, and also just in case we get stuck in a lockdown, you're not stuck without them as well.
Like you said, speaking to you off camera, it's hard when you're away from your children or your son for like 2 or 3 days. For me, I was away for 6 or 7 weeks. They're able to join me now at the end of camp, and I think it's a lift and a boost for myself to see them here, to have them here. I want to spend great time with them after the fight, quality time, but for now, my full focus is on the fight. And I get to see them every day after, training, after the commitments that I have, and it's nice, but we've got that balance now.
Sonny Bill Williams makes his debut to watch this fight and come support yourself and David. What brought him down to the UK?
Sonny's been a great friend of mine for a long time. He's always supported from afar, and he's one of those people that he's a student of the game. He watches a lot of boxing clips. Last Thursday he texted me, can I come to the fight? Friday he booked his flights with Osman. Saturday he left Australia. Sunday he arrived. Monday's in the gym, supporting and training himself. And just the little time that he's had with Andy training, he's so quick at picking up things. He's a great athlete, and I've loved the support from him from the start. He's always looked after me as a younger brother, and now that he's here, it's great to have him part of camp with Osman and leading into the fight.
The All Blacks are taking over.
The All Blacks are taking over.
What's the ring walk music on Saturday? Any thoughts?
Tupac song.
You love Tupac.
I'll just change it up. Business. Yeah.
Okay, Joe, well, we wish you all the best on Saturday night. Before I let you go, just quickly, the heavyweight division, there were talks initially happening that Anthony Joshua decided that he may step aside from the Usyk fight if the deal was right. The number that was being talked about was £40 million. But then the WBC finally called the mandatory for Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury. He finally gets his opportunity. I know the deal has to be constructed yet, but it looks like that's Fury's next fight. What do you make of Whyte's chances with Fury?
I think Whyte always comes in, he's been waiting for a long time to get a shot at the title, and he always comes game. He always comes, I fought him. He was tough fight. I just, my biased opinion is that Tyson will win and beat him. He's got more weapons, but it makes it for an exciting fight.
Joe, I know you've got a very, very close relationship, and like your wife said in the documentary, like a bromance going on with Tyson Fury. But could there ever be a scenario in the future where yourself and Fury are in the ring?
I've wanted to fight him because I believe he's the best. He's the best heavyweight out there, and I always want to test against the best. I'm not in his plans. He's got his plans to fight this person, that person, and I'm not included in those plans. And I think he treats me like a younger brother, and we're very close. So, I don't think it'll happen.
You don't think it'll ever happen?
I don't think it'll ever happen. He's, you know, I've come here to the UK. He's given me his gym, given me all his contacts, his strength coach, his nutritionist, massage therapist. You know, giving me contacts for the apartment I'm staying in. Everything. Just, you know, he's very generous. Looked after me like a younger brother. You know, and I don't think it'll ever happen. Just like it's like Vlad and Vitaly, you know, brothers. They're actual brothers, but it feels like that.
What if Tyson Fury got in a scenario where he had all the belts and you're after becoming a two-time heavyweight champion and he has all the belts? He's not going to give you one of the belts because he's your brother. But would you ever consider it then? Or even if Tyson said, look, Joe, it's business. It's just business.
If Tyson said it's business and he wants to fight me, then of course I'll take it in a heartbeat. But I've spoken to him and he said many times that I'm not in his plans of fights. So, yeah.
Have you ever sparred him?
Body sparring. Yeah, it hurt.
How was that?
It was good. It was very good. You know, he's one of those fighters. Like honestly, it's. I thought my level, I thought my fitness and my level was up here. But when I train with him, he's up here. So I know there's a lot of things I have to work on as a fighter as well.
Okay, Joe. I know we're pushed for time because we've got the press conference. But what can the fans of the UK expect to see on Saturday night?
A good fight. War from Chisora, probably a knockout from me between the rounds 6 and 10.
Put all our money on round 6 and 10.
Between somewhere around there.
Joe, we wish you all the best. We've got the press conference now coming up the next hour or so. Tomorrow's weigh-in, and then, roll on Saturday night, baby.
Roll on Saturday. Let's go.
Joseph Parker, IFL TV, thank you very much.